Hello everyone, my name is David and today I will be making chewy cookies. Now the reason I chose chewy cookies is because I've always been a big fan of cookies in general, but I wanted to find out what makes a cookie chewy instead of cakey or thin and crispy. So I did a couple research, looked up a couple recipes online, and I came up with my own, tweaked it a little bit, and I made this short video for your enjoyment. So I hope you guys like it, and let's get right into it. So the first ingredient in this recipe that makes the cookies chewy is brown sugar. The recipe calls for more brown sugar than white sugar. Ingredients consist of 1 1/4 cup of brown sugar. The brown sugar is coated in more molasses than regular white sugar, thus becoming more hygroscopic, meaning the cookies will attract more water from the air, keeping them moist and chewy. Our second main ingredient in our cookie will be bread flour. The ingredient calls for 2 1/4 cups of flour. Bread flour has the highest protein content of about 11.5 and 13% of protein, compared to all-purpose flour coming in about 9 to 11%. So we use bread flour to produce the gluten in the mixture and provide extra moisture for the cookie. Our third main ingredient in our chewy cookie is using 1 whole egg and an egg yolk instead of 2 whole eggs, as some other recipes call for cakey or crisp cookies. We hold back the egg white as it will result in a crispier cookie. In addition, the egg yolk will provide the cookie with more moisture from the fat and still bind the batter to reduce spreading of the cookie. So for the rest of the ingredients, we have 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 sticks of butter, 1 and 1.5 teaspoon of vanilla extract. The original recipe calls for 12 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips, but I will be using 6 ounces. Our first step is to melt the 2 sticks of butter in a saucepan over low heat, which will give us 8 fluid ounces. After the butter has cooled for a bit, I set it aside into a bowl. Now in a separate bowl, I mixed the bread flour with the salt and the baking soda, and I evenly whisked it together until it was fully combined. Now when it comes to mixing the wet ingredients, you first want to start with the brown sugar and adding the white sugar and then mixing it together until they all become into one mixture. Now after mixing the butter with the brown sugar, I will add the 1 and 1.5 teaspoon of vanilla extract. In addition, I will also add the 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. Now the final step in making the cookies will be to add the flour in slowly until it all combines into a solid mixture. After the dry ingredients and the liquid ingredients have been mixed together, I will add the 6 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Finally, I place 6 cookie doughs on the plan sheet using a small ice cream scooper. Next, I place the cookies in the middle rack since I only had 1 sheet. If you are using 2 sheets at a time, have 1 towards the bottom and 1 towards the top. So this is how my first batch of cookies came out. They were set in the oven for 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and time limit was about 6.5 minutes to 7.5 minutes. My second batch was at the same temperature, 375 degrees, for about 8.5 minutes baking time. So my final cookies were baked at the same temperature, 375 degrees, but these were set about 10.5 minutes. As you can tell, the edges are a bit more golden brown, as well as on the top. And there you have it. That is how you make chewy and soft cookies. I was really pleased by by the way these cookies came out because this was my third attempt at making these cookies. The first time they were really thin and crispy because it needed more flour in the mixture, so that didn't work. The second time I left the cookies in the oven for too long, so they overcooked. They became too crispy and it just did not work. And this final recipe that I made, the video that I just showed you guys, everything just came out perfect. The setting of the time for 6.5 minutes to 7.5 minutes for 375 degrees was definitely my best mixture of cookies. They were soft and chewy and just pure enjoyable. So I thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna go eat about a dozen cookies right now, so I'll see you guys later.